Max, The Curse of Brotherhood is a 2D puzzle platformer by Press Play. It's available now on the eShop for $14.99 or a regional equivalent. Anyone who has had a sibling, or even knew a childhood neighbor friend sibling, has shared the exact sentiment Max has for his little brother Felix at some point or another. He wishes his younger brother would disappear. Lucky for us, that wish has never manifested in the way it has for Max, a way that sends him on a running, jumping, swinging, magic-drawing adventure in a different world. You play as the titular Max, a young man on a quest to save his little brother from the dastardly villain Mustachio, if only because his mom would kill him otherwise. The game's presentation is 3D, though you're only capable of moving on a two-dimensional plane, that is to say, left and right, and up and down. In addition to running, jumping, climbing, and other physical feats that are impressive of a grade school child, Max also has the power to wield a weapon, a magic marker that can draw objects into being as well as erase them. Your powers in the order they are received include Earth, raise pillars of earth to lift obstacles, create paths, and block off enemies. Branches, used to bridge gaps, can also be detached and moved around. Vines, climbable and can be swung from, can be attached to other objects to bridge the gap between them or to swing. Water, can be aimed. Max will travel quickly in whatever direction the water flow moves. Fire, can be thrown to destroy highlighted obstacles and enemies. Its range can be extended by transferring it to branches. The game really opens up once you're able to use all of your abilities in tandem, but there's a good mix of puzzle types from the get-go, and I found myself having an "oh" epiphany moment on more than one occasion once I'd figured something out. The majority of puzzles fall into one of the following categories. Platform puzzles. These are the most common and will require you to pass from point A to point B by creating platforms using the powers I outlined before.
Max, watch out! It is one of Mustachio's henchmen.
Races. Towards the end of several chapters, you'll be tasked with running away from danger. To do so, you'll need to leap over gaps, swing from vines, climb up ladders, and sometimes the game will go into slow motion, allowing you a split second to react and draw an appropriate foothold. Many of these racing puzzles require you to have precise timing in order to clear gaps. And finally, enemy manipulation. Every enemy in the game has a movement pattern that can be taken advantage of. Mustachio's minions, for example, will charge blindly, meaning you can lure them into an area and take the ground out underneath them or drop a trap on top of them.
Yeah! Have a nice party in there, boys!
For the most part, the controls are responsive and the majority of your deaths will be your own fault rather than the result of a cheap shot or faulty input. There were a few moments when I did feel slighted, though, usually when trying to swing from a vine or climb up a ladder in a hurry, and Max would miss a grab that he otherwise should have landed. Your marker can be used by holding down RL to activate it, and then A to draw and Y to erase. If your console isn't docked, you can also make use of the touchscreen, though I wouldn't advise doing so during some of the more complex sections later in the game. Checkpoints are also typically very fair. You respawn at a point not too long before you died in most cases, though during some of the running segments you're required to redo a section of jumps or drawings upon death. Each chapter has its own thematic appearance that ties into a newly introduced power. From thick forests to the desert sands to a river of lava, Max's greatest challenge isn't the occasional enemy in his path, but overcoming obstacles and moving forward. There are also collectibles for the completionists out there, the living eyeballs that serve as Mustachio's spies, 75 in all, and pieces of an amulet, 18 in all. Both are well hidden and require a sharp eye and quick thinking in order to reach them.
Nice job, Max!
I won't spoil anything about the story, but the conclusion to Max's harrowing journey is short and sweet, a nice layer of frosting on an already enjoyable platforming cake. The pacing could have used a bit of work, as it feels as though the journey to Mustachio's lair feels long and drawn out, but the actual showdown lasts only a couple of chapters. However, this is a minor gripe. Bottom line, some may argue that $14.99 is steep for an adventure that will take you 5 to 7 hours, pending skill, but the creativity of the game mechanics make Max, the Curse of Brotherhood, worth the cost of admission. It performs well on the Switch and looks great while it's at it. If you're a fan of puzzle platformers, this is an easy recommendation. Those who are still on the fence won't miss out if they wait for a sale. I've been Dawn from Need to Know Gamers. Stay in the know.